Cancer. So, what happens when Jupiter moves into Cancer? Let's talk about it.
I get so happy about this.
Oh,
Oh, so we haven't had Jupiter in sign of Cancer, which is sign of exaltation, since 2013.
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, ish, 2013-ish. Um, well, I'm trying to think what was going on back then.
Hmm. Pre-pandemic, pre-pandemic, we were just kind of moving our way through life.
Actually, this is interesting. So this immediately makes it about me, but whatever.
Hmm.
um,
Bring it.
I'm doing some, let me use keywords for Jupiter exaltation in these upcoming months, during which time Jupiter will enter into Cancer and then actually retrograde out for a period of time, and then will come back later. But we get about 2 months of Jupiter in Cancer as a start. And in
Mm.
that time period, I'm slated for a lot of expansive
Mm.
things in my business life. And I'm just realizing that, so Jupiter, it takes about 12 years to return to a sign.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
spends about 1 year in a given place in the sky.
Mhm.
So some of the things that are really happening right now are on a 12-year cycle. I hadn't thought about it till we turned the
Yep,
podcast on.
for
But
sure. And
that's
I
how it
just want to
goes.
throw out that Obama wasn't president during the last Jupiter exaltation.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Something in my mouth.
Yeah.
Exciting.
But yeah, when we talk
So,
about, oh, go ahead. I was just
so
gonna,
Jupiter gets his most strength in Cancer. And so when Jupiter is exalted, and he exalts in Pushya Nakshatra, which is the nurturing star, suddenly, like this cosmic professor who's like so expansive and like, you know, theoretical almost and humanitarian, suddenly he's like cooking for you. And he's like wrapping you up in a blanket and he's asking you about your emotions and he's nurturing your emotions,
hmm,
right?
yeah. Um, but that's not all that's happening.
Mm.
So it is nurturing, but it's also like, here here are the Jupiter themes at
Hmm.
magnitude.
That's
So
right.
like for example, we're a few degrees away from this transition, and obviously we're kind of starting to ramp up to it. Like I
Yeah.
just sat through a 90-minute inaugural, my field is in pet care and AI technologies, and I just sat through an inaugural kind of launch of an entire department that's concerned about the ethics of that topic.
So, Jupiter.
Yeah, at the London School of Economics, which is like a top
Yeah.
educational institute. These are the kinds of things that we'll see are like think
Mhm.
tanks and
Yes.
like major academic endowments.
Hmm.
And sorry, I took a moment to get my wheels turning here, but
That's all right.
you know, educators coming to the forefront.
Uh-huh.
Jupiter's also Karaka of children.
Children, right?
So,
This is a really good time when let me just throw this out. When Jupiter is in exaltation, like make donations to
mhm.
children and children's like schools and charities and orphanages. This would be a great time for all those billionaires, millionaires out there who are looking to divest to throw it into education, put
Education,
it
yeah.
into the children. Yeah.
I was actually just joking with a friend. So it's funny what, all of us are experiencing these things all the times, and all that we're doing like on this podcast is we're helping with pattern recognition. But we're all
Exactly.
experiencing this stuff. So here's another
Hmm.
pattern recognition nugget. A friend and I were just joking that we should start a Montessori school. Like this,
Oh,
this like these are the kinds of
that's
conversations.
very, 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 and also
Yeah.
Montessori itself. Like we should look at
Yeah.
Montessori, Maria Montessori's chart to see where her Jupiter is, because like the whole child-led education and following the child is very
It's
Jupiterian in
very
terms of its
Jupiterian.
scope.
Yeah. And oh, I had another one that just happened. Oh, well, I was thinking back to the last, the 12-year cycle of this.
Mhm.
And it was at this time, I'd have to check the actual dates, but
Mm,
I provided care to a
mm,
Nobel laureate who was a professor emeritus at UC
mhm,
Berkeley, and he would
mm.
have died in Jupiter exaltation, and he was a tenured professor for 60 years.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
these
yeah.
are the kinds of themes, like people like honorary PhDs being awarded, um
Absolutely.
the yeah, these kinds
And
of
I think
themes.
we could see like youth and children really stepping
Hmm.
into the forefront and speaking knowledge, like that, like voice of the youth being able to speak wisdom to the elders during this
Yeah.
time period.
How old is Greta? What's her name? Greta Thurberg?
Greta Thunberg,
Thunberg?
she's in her 20s now, I
Is
think.
she 24? Because that would give her
She
exalted
might
Jupiter.
be.
She probably has exalted Jupiter in her chart.
Yeah, I would imagine. Let me go ahead, and I think when she was talking to the United Nations and all of that, um, that she was that it was during that period of Jupiter exaltation. I'll take a look. She was born in 2003. You're better at those calculations than I am off the top of your head.
2003. So she's 22-ish.
Uh-huh.
Actually, depending on retrograde cycles, she
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
well.
I've got her chart. She has
Yeah.
got exalted
Yeah.
Jupiter in
Exactly.
Cancer. It's in Ashleisha, so it's not
Yeah.
exactly at the point of exaltation, but it is
Yeah.
absolutely an
In
exaltation. She
Cancer.
also
Yeah.
has Sun in Sagittarius, who is Jupiter sign,
Jupiter's.
Moon in Sagittarius also.
Hmm.
So she's got all of this massive Jupiterian energy that she is just bringing to the forefront.
Yeah.
And I'm going to also check because I'm wondering of when she, really good example
Right?
of,
You like how I intuitively knew that that was going to be the person.
absolutely. Yeah,
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 because
yeah.
yeah.
I want to find out the years when she spoke to the UN, because that would also be a
Hmm.
great example of this Jupiter exaltation. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Interesting.
2019. So not when Jupiter was in exaltation.
Yeah, but she carries that in her chart. And I would
Absolutely.
I would be willing to wager a bet that it was around her, 12th-ish birthday that she
Mhm.
started to discover that this was her calling.
Well, that's when she set up her vigil in front
Hmm.
of the political office in, is it the Netherlands? I have to double check, where she basically like sat there and she wouldn't go to school. She was like, school
Yeah.
strike for climate. No, I'm
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah.
this.
And this speaks also to the nurturing aspect of sign of Cancer, where Jupiter gets all of this
Hmm.
exalted strength. It's actually not even strength, it's light. It's
That's right.
luminosity, where
Yeah.
Jupiter shines the brightest. And Cancer
Hmm.
is the natural fourth house of home and mother. So it's like we're talking about Mother Earth, where we all live, right?
Yes.
And then you get
Yes.
people with this placement who genuinely are willing to dedicate their life to, collective nurturing and through
Hmm.
education on Earth.
Hmm.
It's really beautiful.
It is
Um,
very beautiful.
yeah,
Sweden. She's Swedish. I just
Swedish.
wanted to
Yeah.
correct myself. Yeah.
Okay. I
So good example of exalted Jupiterian energy,
Mhm.
which is what we're going into. So, it gives us some hope.
It is. It's a hopeful time. And just to remind everyone that we get about 2 months of Jupiter just touching into Cancer, not into Pushya yet. But
Hmm.
isn't that what's the first nakshatra that it will be in? Is it Purnavasu?
Ashlesha.
Oh, Shlesha first, then Pushya.
Ashle,
No,
oh,
Ashlesha's
I'm sorry.
last.
No, no, I've got it backwards in
Hmm.
in my mind. Uh, Punarvasu, then
Then Pushya,
Pushya, then
then Ashlesha.
Ashlesha.
So
Yes.
Purnavasua itself is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter
Correct.
being in the early degrees
Hmm.
of Cancer is
Hmm.
super Jupiter, and then
Hmm.
is going to retrograde all the way back through Gemini, and then move in
Hmm.
forward motion all the way back through Gemini. So we're going to have a bit of a repeat, rewind
Hmm.
on the last period of time, and then we get about a full year of Jupiter being in that Cancer place. So this is going to feel really nice. This is
It's
kind
gonna
of the
feel really
boon.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a lot of water energy with Saturn. So Saturn will finish a retrograde cycle in Pisces all the way down to first degree and then
Mm-hmm.
turn direct and spend another 2 years in water sign of
In
Pisces, while
Pisces. Yep.
and Jupiter will spend an entire year water sign of Cancer, and this is all lining
Hmm.
up as we'll be moving through Scorpio stellium season. So there's
Yeah.
a
Let's
lot of
go.
water energy. I know as we were getting ready for this podcast, as usual, I didn't do any research or preparation, but
Why
I was
would we
kind
do
of,
that?
why would we do that? We already know this stuff. But I was kind of just sitting here like, it's the ocean. It's like the vast cosmic ocean is really,
Hmm.
and this is very cleansing at a time when, you know, we need exalted Jupiter people at this time.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
babies being born in this period.
Mm.
This is exciting. Again, not quite yet. I haven't checked the dates that Jupiter will kind of quote unquote permanently enter Cancer without retrograding
Hmm.
out. Um, but yeah, lovely season all around. Um,
Well, and let's see. Of course, there's other mitigating factors. We've got a
of
few other
course,
things going on with like K2 moving through Leo, and I don't know that this. I don't want to paint this as all flowers and
not at all.
love and
No.
light, and
Mm-mm.
that everything is going to be perfect because Jupiter is moving into his point of exaltation, right? We want to avoid that. It's not like we're going to have a massive peace, love revolution on the earth right now, this moment.
No, but we actually already kind of set up an example of how this can play out in reality. So we have about a year, another year of Rahu transiting Aquarius while K2 transits Leo, and Leo and Jupiter will actually probably cross in Cancer. We'll have to look at the
Hmm.
chart, but that's
Yeah, we take a
interesting.
look.
That's also very interesting energy. But so the example I gave of this academic symposium for AI
Hmm.
protection in non-human species is
Hmm.
happening at a time when,
I love it.
right,
Non-human species is so
non-human
great.
species, and with Rahu, we've talked about this. Rahu transiting Aquarius is huge leap forward in AI technologies. We're seeing that happen in
Mhm.
real time. The only planet that's capable of mitigating Rahu's shadow nature is Jupiter.
It's
So,
Jupiter.
getting Jupiter in exaltation while Rahu is in Aquarius would result in a whole bunch of academics and very generous donors coming together to ensure the safety of animals from runaway
Yes,
AI tech applications. That's
I
that's
love it.
that's
Well, and
exactly how
also
this works.
Saturn is going to go during this season. Saturn will be in Revati, who
Hmm.
is the shepherd, who the deity is Pushan, he who takes care of animals. We're going to see animals really come to the
Yeah,
forefront as we
absolutely.
move deeper into 2026. 2026, Jupiter's still in Cancer because it's retrograded back and then going forward. And I'm looking for that moment when we were talking about when Jupiter and K2 exchange, and it's going to happen in November, October, late October. Here it is coming at me of
26.
2026.
That'll be an
Yeah.
interesting time.
That'll be a really interesting time because Mars will, yeah, it comes early. No, they go both into Leo. That'll be interesting. And then they switch places mid-November 2026.
Okay.
So look for some massive changes in leadership at that
I was
time.
going to say we're going to see some political turnover at that time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously. But I, maybe should we talk a little bit more? Well, okay, there was one thing I wanted to mention
Mm.
as we're talking about Jupiter. And obviously, I have a really strong personal relationship with Jupiter
Hmm.
myself. So,
Yes, we do.
um, yes, I do. If you hadn't caught on, but I mentioned that Jupiter would enter Pisces in his own nakshatra. So
Hmm.
Jupiter rules over Purnavasu, which crosses Gemini to Cancer,
Hmm.
Vishaka, which crosses Libra to Scorpio,
Yep.
and Purva Bhadrapada, which crosses
Awesome.
Aquarius to Pisces. We just
Hmm.
had this solar eclipse in Purnavasu in Jupiter's third nakshatra.
Hmm.
And and I'm saying that because if you want to go back and listen for more context,
Yep.
the the
Please do.
the point of bringing this up is that while we are describing Jupiter as he is the grand benefic, the great luminary, the great teacher, protector, father, all of these
The
things,
guru to the gods.
literally his name is Guru. He is the teacher and
Hmm.
the uh, remover of darkness. I mean, all of these
Hmm.
beautiful things. Jupiter's nakshatras are fierce.
They're very
They
fierce.
are
They
fierce
are very fierce. Let's
nakshatras.
talk about
Yeah.
each one. So, Punarvasu, which bridges between Gemini into Cancer, is the return of the light. And the deity here is Aditi, who is the first goddess, the primal one, the first one. And the symbol is a quiver with endless arrows. So this is very, very fierce energy of an. Imagine you have a quiver with that you just pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and it never ends. And it's the star of renewal is the Shakti of this star.
And we all know that you gotta die to be reborn. A renewal is
Yes.
not a love and light process, it's a
Mm.
destruction and reemergence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, just as a note, that Jupiter's Mula Trikona house is Sagittarius, which is also
Mm-hmm.
symbolized by an archer. So
Yes,
there is
exactly.
this theme of archery, arrows,
Mm-hmm.
quivers,
Mm-hmm.
bullseye energy to a certain
Mm-hmm.
extent.
Yeah, and of the
Mm-hmm.
aiming the arrow
Mm-hmm.
towards something
Mm-hmm.
and towards like higher aspirations and also the arrow of truth that we're aiming it towards something.
Similar to the lightning bolt that resides over Purvabhadrapada. But let's go in order because we have
Yeah.
Purnavasu, then Vishaka. Actually, we
And
talked about
Punarvasu I think is female cat yoni.
I, probably.
I believe so.
I'd have to check that out. Yeah.
Marjara. So I believe it's female cat. So that very like it's cozy, but it's also incredibly fierce.
Sharp nails.
Yes, sharp nails.
It has claws. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so the next of the Jupiter star signs is, and it's another, it's Vishaka. And this is the star that is the forked tree and the triumphal archway. So this is also a nakshatra that's associated with Indra, the king of the gods, and with Agni, the fire of the gods, or just fire itself, which can create and which can destroy, right? So another very fierce nakshatra associated with Jupiter. Anything else you want to say about Vishaka?
Just that we touched on
Oh, I know
thresholds.
what I want to say.
You go
That
ahead.
we
Yeah.
on what did we
Well,
touch
in
on?
our, I think it was our last episode, and we were talking about thresholds. If you're in the threshold, you're already in it, right?
Mm,
And we were talking about that in the context of Vishaka and how actually during this brief initial period of Jupiter entering into Cancer is when we will have all the planets parading through Vishaka Nakshatra into the fall. So that's kind of a
mm,
fun, just adding on
mm,
to what we talked about last time. And then just to reiterate, we just had this solar eclipse
mhm.
in, no, it was the lunar eclipse.
It
I'm
was the
misspeaking.
lunar
It
eclipse.
was
Yeah, yeah.
the beginning of the eclipse cycle
Mhm,
was the total lunar eclipse
mhm, mhm,
in Purva Bhadrapada when we were
mhm.
talking about strike of lightning, sudden Kundalini
Yep.
rising, kind of this penetrating force, also
Mhm.
this one-legged goat,
Yeah, yeah,
Ekapada.
yeah. So Vishaka, just to circle back so we don't lose the thread,
Oh, okay.
the power is the power to attain various fruits in life. And also, Vishaka is a male tiger. So we have female cat, Punarvasu energy, and then we have it evolve into male tiger energy. So again, this very, very fierce energy that is like, it doesn't, when one thinks about Jupiter, we don't necessarily think about this very fierce energy. However, the guru, that which is guiding us to the light, has to be pretty damn fierce to do its job.
Yeah. Well, and remember, guru is, if in a literal translation, not
Mm.
guiding us to the light, but cutting away the darkness,
Yes, exactly.
removing the darkness. There is
Mhm.
a fierceness behind that. That's actually very similar to the energy, say, of goddess Kali, for
Yes,
example.
exactly.
Yeah, where
Exactly.
it's like, yeah.
So
Or,
the third, and this is like interesting because I had to look it up because I'm in the process of memorizing the Yoni Nakshatra animals right now, and they have a lot of wisdom to give to us. You know,
hmm
every time we study the nakshatras, we learn a little bit more, and every nakshatra has a deity, it has a planetary ruler, it has a shakti or power, and it has an animal, it has a tree. Healing trees are associated, and herbs with each nakshatra, a symbol or symbols. So the third of the Jupiter nakshatras is Purvabhadrapada, which we talked about in uh, earlier podcast. The Shakti here is the Shakti is the power to raise a spiritual person up in life. And this is a very fierce nakshatra. Again, it's associated with Kundalini, and the animal is a male lion. So we have female cat, male tiger, and I'm going to double check that it's female cat. It could be male cat. Female tiger, I'm sorry, male tiger and male lion. It's all feline energy here, which of course the felines are also associated with goddess Durga.
hmm Absolutely, they are. Who, just as a reminder, is goddess Kali and Durga come from the same source, and Chamundi.
Yes,
Um,
precisely.
yeah, and
So what do
Durga
we have
has,
for?
oh,
Uh-huh.
I would
Go
say
ahead.
quite a lot of weaponry in all of these.
Oh wow! Oh yes, she
Quite a lot of
does.
weaponry. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Viche, the big sword to cut through ignorance and ego, which is how you get the light out, right?
And it's also interesting because Aditi, who is the planetary ruler of the first of the Jupiterian nakshatras, she's the first, she's the primal goddess.
Of course she is.
Yeah. So, what do you got for music, fashion, and and movie for Jupiter moving into exaltation? And do we want to make any prediction?
Well, I think we kind of made our prediction with the like animal
Mm.
part. And so one of the examples that they gave on this panel that I literally just listened to this. Well, no, like the last few
Yeah, yeah,
hours, it's like getting ready for, I hadn't added this up, but it was like I listened to this 90-minute symposium and then I had
yeah.
a business meeting, which
Mm.
when you take the long view, was really seated in some ways in the last cycle of Jupiter exaltation over 12 years
Okay.
ago. And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
here it is. It's like he,
yeah.
this is how we see things develop, and we've done this in previous podcasts. Each planet has a return cycle. Saturn is 30
Mhm,
years, Rahu Ketu is 18
mhm,
years, Jupiter
mhm,
is 12. Those are the slowest moving four. And
mhm.
when we look at things in those uh what do we call it? Intervals, then we can
Yes,
really start to
interval.
see these long-term patterns in our lives and in our culture and society.
Mhm.
But I think that those predictions are like, we may see more energy coming from Greta, for example. I've never
Mhm.
said her name out loud until today, which is why I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I know how to read it.
Mhm.
But we may see more of her or more people like her coming to the forefront.
Mhm. I think so.
One of the examples that they gave as a sign of progress on this panel was and you'll laugh, this is a bit of an inside joke, the banishing of octopus farms, right?
Wow. We
Yeah,
should definitely banish octopus
we
farms.
should
There
definitely
is
banish
no
octopus.
reason that
There
we
is no
should
reason.
be,
There's
there
no
is
reason for that.
no reason why we should be farming octopi.
Yeah,
Not cool.
and the premise on which it was made illegal, at least in the nation that I'm in, I can't speak for the rest of the world, is that these are highly sentient, highly intelligent, highly capable of violence beings that do not
Hmm.
and should not be in close quarters with one another.
That have their own whole evolutionary
Hmm.
pattern tree. Like they're as close to alien as we got, kind of.
Some people actually think that they are of alien
Yes.
origin. Yep,
Yes.
which doesn't sound weird to me at
Doesn't
all.
bother me. It doesn't bother
No,
me.
it just feels like that's probably what that is. That's an alien. Uh,
So, fashion.
so fashion. So there's a meme. Um,
Oh no, this reminds me of when my kid was really little. I mean, they were like before school age, and they got it in their head for Halloween at one point that they were going to be an octopus alien.
yeah,
So I
of
dressed
course.
them up as octopus alien. I have a picture somewhere, and they were, I don't know how they got it in their mind. They were like 3 years old. They were like, yeah, I'm being an octopus alien for Halloween. They didn't have a book about octopus alien. They didn't watch any TV, and they were octopus aliens, Cthulhu, of, of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, and
That's my fashion pick. Octopus alien
octopus
Halloween
alien
outfit.
Halloween costume is really
Yeah.
good. I mean, if there was ever a time to revive this, it would be this Halloween. Just
Yes.
say, yes, this would be the
Yes.
time. This would be the time.
Yes.
I've got to go. There's a few classic memes and like viral videos that have circulated the internet for years. One of
Hmm.
them is like I think we've even talked about this, like a very jolly sized man wearing a very
Yes.
bright yellow three-piece suit, like kind of peeking out from behind a tree. And it's that very bright yellow suit. Jupiter's color is like yellow saffron, like kind of
Hmm.
saffron yellow, and yellow sapphire is the gem for this planet.
Hmm.
So like that man, and then there's a video of a man. Is it the same person also wearing an
I don't
incredible
know.
yellow suit? Oh, do you know who it is? It's the man in the yellow hat from Curious George. That's
Oh, but he's
that.
skinny though. The only
He's
problem
kind
is that he's
yeah,
skinny.
he's kind of skinny. Jupiter is not a skinny energy, but that yellow hat energy is strong.
That
Um,
is strong.
that is strong. But Jupiter's appearance
And
is
maybe, and the monkey, Curious George could be Rahu, like running around.
totally. It's the monkey
Hmm.
mind, and the
Hmm.
man in the yellow hat is Jupiter
Yes.
there to calm it down.
We'll just erase all the colonial vibes and like all the racism in those books.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have to use examples that we have. We just can't be responsible for everything. Don't cancel us because we referred to Man in the Yellow Hat.
Yeah, it was really just a reference to the yellow hat mostly, and
Yes.
let me see now if I can find something that's a little bit more contemporary and appropriate. Um,
Mm, it's like, it's something that's very like lush and nurturing, but also like cozy.
you know what I just bought?
I do not.
Which I wasn't thinking about this transit, obviously, when I made this purchasing decision, but I needed a new like bathrobe or dressing gown, and the one that
Mm.
I had was the same color as this
I
pillow
like that you
behind
say
my.
dressing gown.
I am in Britain right now, and I was raised by
I
British
know you
people.
are. I like it.
Yes. I didn't know that a dressing gown wasn't what it was called until I was like an adult, and then I adapted, and then I moved back to England. So here we are. So,
Wait, what is wait, I need some clarification.
well, Americans say bathrobe, don't they?
I think so. Is that the same as a dressing gown?
So far as I am aware.
Okay, that's information to me. I like it.
I don't know. So the one I
Okay.
threw, I had to throw one away because it had Abyanga
Hmm.
oil to a disgusting extent, had ruined it. It was the color of this pillow, which is like Jupiter's color.
Hmm.
And now realize that I replaced it with a larger, cozier, fluffier, more comfortable, more cozy, more sign of cancer-ish, also yellow robe, which I kind of wish I was wearing now that I
I
mentioned
kind of
it.
wish you were wearing it right now too.
It has a hood. I could put it on.
Well, don't bother yourself, dear.
But you can use your imagination. That's probably my pick. I clearly made this decision to buy this for this
With the
transit
yellow hat, please.
with the yellow hat.
Yeah.
No, it has a hood.
Well, you can hood and hat.
I could wear a yellow hat. Yes, I
Yes.
could. I happen to own many yellow things because
Yes, you do.
yes, I do. Um, so fashion movie music pick. Um,
Music.
the music to
Mhm.
me feels like a what it feels like is the conductor of a school band that like becomes famous. You know what I've seen a lot of references to lately
Mm.
are Sister Act 2.
Oh yeah, it like got re-released or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
it's
kind of
kind of like
fits.
that.
Yeah, like
It does kind of
youth.
fit. I think Dead Poet Society is
I
really
was gonna
good.
say, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking Sister Act 2 for the movie, but more for the
Oh,
music of like the choral
ah,
director,
got it.
or like the the band of young people that's held together by the like uh whatever the teacher who has the group of students forever and
Mm-hmm.
ever kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dead Poet Society was also on my mind. Or could it be like Goodwill Hunting?
It could be Goodwill Hunting. It could be Dead Poet Society. Either of those is very good.
It could be why is this going through my head? Free Willy?
I don't know. Why is it? I mean, it's definitely ocean vibes. And
It's
that's got like a big orca that
Vishaka
jumps out.
that
Yeah.
jumps and makes like a Vishaka arc. And it's like no, the movie there's sorry. It's it's Free Willy. It's Michael
I
Jackson.
like it.
Actually, I just watched Quincy Jones documentary.
Mm.
Quincy
Ah,
Jones has probably a very interesting chart, but there is
probably.
a Jupiterian aspect to writing music designed for many musicians to play together.
Uh-huh. Orchestral
Oh,
music.
orchestral music. I mean, think about it. He was writing for Frank Sinatra, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
50s and 60s and
Mm-hmm.
all the way through to nearly present day. I mean, he made it into the 21st century. Massive long career.
Mm-hmm.
And as he gained fame and success, I mean, he's really responsible for like the phenomenal success of like Michael Jackson, for
Mm-hmm.
example. So there's something there. I know that's not a music genre, but you know, it's like a multi-genre, but that kind of person. There's something about the like conductor energy
Or the music
of it.
producer who
Mm-hmm.
produces like many famous you know, like those producers who produce one genre and they do it really well. And they guide all of these musicians into stardom and guide their career and their album making, something like that.
Something like that. Um,
Hmm.
for movie, I know we had some kind of funny examples. It would be the same thing. Like there's got to be, I'm sure people are like calling out way better stuff than I'm thinking of right now as they listen to this, but any example of like that kind of unexpected teacher or
Hmm.
even a story of a very strong successful bond between a father and a child.
Yep,
Um,
for sure.
and they're kind
The
of drift.
road. Let's pick the
Yeah,
road.
yeah, something like that.
It is kind of timely.
Yeah.
And this Jupiter in exaltation might feel like that, like this hope, you know, like when they finally make it to safety and they drink Coca-Cola and they're like, oh my God, what is this wonderful thing? And this Jupiter moving into exaltation may feel like this light in the dark right now.
hmm I mean, it quite literally is that.
Yes.
Um, this transit will be a beautiful time to observe Jupiter in the sky itself
Uh-huh.
because it will
Yes.
be very bright.
Yes.
Um,
All right. We got a
wait,
movie.
what
We
about
got
music? Oh, we
fashion.
have the music.
Music.
Fashion. Okay. Fashion? Oh, the
I also want
bathrobe.
to. I
Yeah.
also I'm not sure why I say this also, but I think Aretha would be music pick for Jupiter in Cancer.
Aretha Franklin, like Bridge Over Troubled Water, that
Yeah, or
recording.
like Natural Woman, or like just any of her like beautiful, or her gospel, because
Mm-hmm.
there is this like religiosity to Jupiter while he maintains like, while he's having fun.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. Do we have a myth?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. So once upon a time, long, long ago and far, far away, Indra, who's the king of the gods, who is also the planet or the deity ruler of Vishaka Nakshatra, also relates to Jesta, but that's a different story. He's living, in his palace in the clouds, and you know, he has his thunderbolts. Indra is very much similar to the Zeus archetype. And one day he gets very, very drunk on his own power. And he forgets this basic etiquette, which is when your teacher enters the room, you stand up and you bow, you honor the teacher. And so when Jupiter, Brihaspati, the guru of the gods, walks into Indra's celestial court, he doesn't even lift his eyes. He just lounges on his throne. And Brihaspati, seeing this arrogance, turns and leaves. He doesn't scold, he doesn't get angry, he just walks away. But the moment he leaves, and this is very Jupiterian, I grew up with a parent with Jupiter in own sign in seventh house, and I think in seventh. And this parent would never yell, would never scold, would never get angry. He would just remove attention. And this is very like Jupiterian, like very wise in terms of teaching. So he just turns around and he leaves. And the shield of wisdom that surrounds the devas, the gods, just completely disappears. And that gives the opportunity for the asuras to enter, the demonic things. And of course, in all of these myths, the devas are positive thoughts, the asuras are negative thoughts, and they're always waging a war. So the asuras enter in, this barrier of protection has left, and they immediately begin to wage war. And without the blessing of their teacher, the devas just crumble. And Indra suddenly realizes, oh my God, like I have no power. So he goes and he begs for forgiveness. He seeks out Brihaspati. He is humbled and shaken. And then Jupiter teaches him that kingship is not about domination, but it's about humility before wisdom. So this is our
Mm,
Jupiter exaltation myth,
I love it.
right? It's very nice.
That's very nice.
Anything else we want to say about Jupiter in exaltation or anything else?
Well, I mean, I'm sure this is a long transit, so we'll have
Mhm.
opportunities to kind of check in and reflect on these themes over the next, well, on and off over the next year plus.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything else we want to say?
This is this transition. We're still in this transition, right at the precipice between summer into fall. So it's a really wonderful time for immune boosting, for gentle cleansing, for staying warm, for staying cozy, for doing all of your nurturing and self care and wellness practices, like being in your dressing gown with your hood up in your bed, just staying warm and cozy.
That's right. That's probably what I will be doing. But yeah, and let us know if things are expanding. Yeah, and for some people that could be physically with this
Mhm.
transit. That's
Yes.
okay. That's nice actually.
It's fine.
Um,
We like it. We love the well, I would say, but there's often videos of like very round children dancing, That's very Jupiter energy.
Yeah, it's kind of like
As long
chubby
as they're happy.
toddler. Yeah, it's like happy, chubby, cheruby
Mhm.
toddler
So cute.
vibe. It's so cute. Yes. No, I think we've said enough. I'll we'll come back. We'll reflect more on this in the future.
Om Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Shivaya. All right.
All right, we did